Hey everyone, I'm YAK'N Matt, and thanks for joining the channel today. I'd like to talk about this stadium seat that I've got behind me. I've fitted a PVC seat riser. A couple of advantages with having a seat riser. It just gives you a little bit more comfort. It enables you to stand up a little bit easier because you're already sitting up a little bit higher off the deck, and it gives you a bit of extra storage space. Okay, so there are a couple of cons you need to take into account before you go and dive in and fit a seat riser to your stadium seat. When you're out in the water, you need to factor the conditions that you're paddling and your experience. So first things first, you don't really want to be paddling in any conditions that you're not already comfortable paddling with the seat at the stock height. Secondly, your center of gravity now is sitting at least probably another 4-5 inches above where it would normally be sitting. So that can inherently cause a little bit of tippiness in your kayak. I suppose you just need to be really comfortable with your paddling style and being aware of the conditions that you're going to be paddling in, especially with this stadium seat riser. The benefits of a seat riser certainly outweigh the negatives. Installing a seat riser to your stadium seat gives you so much more room. Check how much space there is now compared to when that rail was sitting at the standard height. When I had my Minn Kota electric trolling motor fitted to this kayak previously, you see there the cabling coming out underneath, and that was where my control box and lithium battery was set up. So there's lots and lots of storage space that you can gain from having the seat riser. Okay, so this seat riser is made out of PVC pipe. There's a couple of T-joiners here at the front which provide the crossbar. Got a couple of 90-degree bends on either side there, a short section of tube, and then another T-joiner at the top there. The same goes for the back of the seat. Again, we've got the T-fittings on either side there. We've got a 90-degree elbow on the left and the right, and then we've got this T-piece at the top. Now you'll notice that I've had to do a bit of carving up there to allow the actual frame to slot in. Otherwise you won't be able to fit the tube, because there's a tube that comes out of here and that needs to essentially clamp around. So you're going to have to cut out of the pipe a groove. Probably, you can probably see there, it's the width of my finger, in order to fit the bottom rail into that pipe. One of the things you'll notice about this seat is that I've kept the lean back in the seat. So I've made the back riser a little bit lower than the front, and that just makes sure that your seat sits almost as naturally as the standard seat does when it's sitting in the kayak base there. So you can see there on this tube, you're going to have to make a little sleeve to suit the dimension of your stadium seat cross tube to be able to fit inside the T-joiner. You also need to consider the construction of the hull and the actual base where the seat sits. So I'm fortunate enough that it's got a fairly straightforward setup. So the stock bar, each cross beam one would fit there, and one would fit there. Make sure you got no obstructions on your deck. Same on this side as well. So once you've measured up your pipe and you've made all your cuts, it's probably a good idea to dummy fit before you use any sort of glue. And in actual fact, I haven't glued this together. It's all held quite firmly. So if you get it right, it should just slot straight in, and you've got your first DIY seat riser. All right, so there you go. It's a pretty easy little project, and I encourage you to give it a go, because certainly, as I said before, there's quite a lot of advantages to having a seat riser. Just gets you up a little bit higher, and your legs are not sort of locked out at your knees and getting cramps and those kinds of things. Alrighty, and that wraps up my DIY seat riser for a stadium seat. I'm YAK'N Matt. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have any thoughts or comments about anything you've seen on today's episode, leave it down in the comments. Punch that like button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.